Hi everyone, I've been using the Tab S7 keyboard cover for a while, so I wanted to use it properly before giving my review. I'm gonna come out clean and say that I purchased Tab S7 because of that free S Pen and the pre-booking offer on that keyboard. And I'm sure many of you are doing the same. Paying for an Apple Pencil and a Magic Keyboard is more than half the cost of this complete setup. So I thought why not use two tablets and I'll be able to test Android tablet as well. I never used Magic Keyboard, so I have nothing to compare here. So this is my first and only experience with the keyboard of a tablet. So the tab cover comes in two parts. One is back cover and one is keyboard. The keyboard and back cover are light because they are made of plastic, but when you attach them to the Tab S7, it feels really heavy. There are really good magnets in there, but you know the cover because you have seen many unboxings, so I'll move on from here. One thing I want to mention, it is much smaller than it appears in any video, so I would suggest go out and check it out first before buying. The trackpad is also really small, the keyboard is quite flimsy and you cannot open it easily, so I would suggest open the flip cover first, put it down on a surface and then open the keyboard. That will be more easier. The book cover can bend as much as 90 degrees, so you can lay it down on a flat surface and it's easier to draw on it. The only issue with this keyboard is very difficult to put it on your lap and work on it, even if you're trying to lay down and the keyboard is on your stomach. Either the screen will move or the keyboard. I wrote my script on it, so I can say I like the keyboard despite its smaller size. The keyboard feel is really good, the experience was nice. It has a great clicky sound and it's not annoying at all. I'm going to talk about the keyboard first, then I will come to the trackpad. So there are many inbuilt shortcuts and you can see them by pressing the command and hash button. So you can see many inbuilt software to open the application, going to home screen, closing an app, open settings, open notification panel. And if you are in any application, you can see the shortcut of that application as well, which is very useful. The only problem with these shortcuts that you cannot customize it. Unlike the Tab S7 keyboard, you don't have function keys here. So I really miss the volume control, media control and the brightness control on the keyboard. You can open apps like browser and maps, but you cannot customize those shortcuts as well. There are some annoying things like opening a new tab, but you cannot type immediately. So I created a workaround. So I set my homepage to google.com. So whenever I open a new tab, it will open Google and I can search anything, but I cannot write a website in it. It's irritating to use mouse every time and I will come to that reason later. There is one most basic thing and most irritating thing that you cannot press tab button to pause the media. Instead, it'll select whole screen and your video will look whitish. So you have to press the tab button, otherwise it's going to be in the select mode. It took me some time to figure that out. You cannot even press enter to send a message. You have to go to home screen and click the send message. I think that feature only works with Slack, but I couldn't find it in any other application. If you want to use the escape key, you have to press the function button. We don't have function keys in Tab S7 keyboard, but in Tab S7 Plus, you have to press function key and then use the media control. You cannot even customize that as well. There's no backlighting as well, and I think it's a major feature that is missing. Now let's talk about that trackpad. The first thing you want to do is control your pointer speed, and that's the only thing you can customize. You cannot customize tap to click button, you cannot customize the right click button, you cannot control the scrolling speed. There's very limited things you can do with that trackpad. The gestures are useful and work sometimes. At least the 3 fingers up swipe gesture works fine. But that's it, that's where the problem starts. The first basic thing that you will notice that you cannot hide the cursor. So you have to touch the screen to hide that. Pretty basic, right? I know the trackpad is quite small, but still the palm rejection is awful. Sometimes a single click works at double click and sometimes you're using 2 fingers, it behaves weirdly. And when you are in the middle of something and you touch accidentally with your second finger, either it'll click something or stop moving at all. I'm not lying, I almost deleted something which I shouldn't have. You can't even control the scrolling speed, so when I'm on Twitter, either I have to do it really slow, otherwise it'll just skip the 10 post, and it goes really fast and I cannot control that. You cannot select any text in any app by clicking the left click and swiping your right finger. I know these problems are nothing to do with DeX itself, it's with Android, but they are there. It still feels half-baked. At least in the Samsung application it should work, like for Samsung browser, but it still doesn't work there as well. Double click rarely work in any application, and I cannot select text in many applications like Slack or YouTube. I didn't want this video to be a bashing video. I recently changed my video title as well. It's just that I'm a bit disappointed. I was expecting a little more with that DeX support, but I think that's bad on my part. I started using a mouse after a while. It doesn't annoy me as much, but the gesture do not work on any mouse. I think the keyboard is not worth the full price. If you're getting an offer, then it's okay because you can use the keyboard at least. But please do not rely on the trackpad. I would suggest carry a mouse with yourself so that you do not accidentally touch a lot of things which you don't want. I don't see any problem with batteries because this keyboard does not have a backlight, so it does not consume a lot of battery, so that's a good thing. Okay, now I'm ready for the comments like fanboy and biased. But the people who are actually going to buy it and looking for my advice, just don't go for this keyboard for the looks of it. It's not very practical and it's not there yet. If by any chance you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment your opinions. And if you think my content is worth it, please subscribe to my channel. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.